Live from Pearl Bar and Dining at Lincoln Square, Bellevue, here's your host, Danny O'Neill.
And we are here at Pearl Bar and Dining. Dave Wyman, Paul Moyer, and we are joined now. Let's give him a hand. Cliff Avril's in the house with us.
Thanks for having me.
We really appreciate you coming by. I'm sure you've kind of become accustomed to this. It's your third season here in Seattle.
You never get used to the 12s.
What's it been like? What's it been like to become embraced
awesome.
by this fan base?
It's awesome. There's definitely no fans like the 12s. Me being in other situations and seeing how it is, you got to love it. You definitely appreciate it.
Now, Cliff, you have the Seahawks hat on right now. So
Yes.
That's a retro hat. That's you and
that
I,
is.
Dave.
That's from our era.
Yeah, we appreciate you respecting us.
Throwback.
Throwback.
You know what?
Thursday.
We don't appreciate when you say that's from your days. That sounds like leather helmets. Come on, Cliff.
It wasn't that long ago, but it was a while ago.
Yeah, I know. Basically, Cliff could be my son. Okay? All right. There.
No way, man. Cliff is way faster.
Oh, man.
A little bit.
All right, O'Neill, you're killing me. But without the Seahawks hat, can you go out? I mean, do people recognize you quite a bit in town?
No. Some people will, but for the most part, I can walk around the mall and, nobody really bothers me. So that's kind of cool, too.
Do you like that? I mean, because,
Yes.
it's kind of nice to be able to reap all the benefits of you're out on the field and everything, and then not everybody constantly coming up to you.
I agree, especially when I'm with my son or something like that. I definitely appreciate it more for that simple fact that I can actually walk around with him and nobody really bother me.
Are you good? Jacksonville, Florida, where you grew up and you went to Purdue, and now in the Northwest. Are you? Because we got some rain today. It's back. Are you good with the weather?
I am. I'm used to it now. Being here 3 years, I'm kind of. It's not as bad as everybody thinks it is, though. Everywhere else in the country, you think it's just lightning, thundering all the time, and it's nothing like that. So, I've definitely gotten used to it.
Cliff Avril is with us here. We're going to talk to him in a little bit. He's got an event coming up on September 28th that we want to talk to him about. A dining cause. It's a dining
to make a difference.
Dining to make a difference, and it's to help with juvenile diabetes. You can find tickets there at the Cliff Avril Family Foundation.
Yes.
We'll talk a little bit more about that coming up. But your third year, and you decided and got an extension to be last season. Was that a matter of you just feeling comfortable here, and what went into that decision for you?
Most definitely. It's just being comfortable. I love the way things are ran, the way Coach Carroll runs the team. And then also, again, the fans make a big difference in that as well. Just playing at the C-Link, it's fun. It's a blast. So it was kind of an easy decision for me.
Yeah, and as I remember, Cliff, when you came here, you kind of bet on yourself a little bit, right? I mean,
yeah, I guess you could call it that.
Yeah, and so it worked out. But
Yes.
you haven't faced Detroit yet since you've been here, correct?
No, not yet. But we will this year.
It's going to be coming up here in 2 weeks on a Monday night, I believe.
Yeah, that'll be fun.
The other thing that I thought was so funny is that the Super Bowl, which is this huge media crush, I remember Cliff every day people asking him about, so you basically played at a discount to come here in Seattle. I'm like, the only man in the world ever for 2 years, 13, 15 million, whatever it was, but you took a huge discount to come here.
Yeah, I received that a lot, but then, a year later I had a Super Bowl ring, so as a bet well played, I guess.
Yeah, see, and I appreciate that. I mean, because I think for a lot of people, they think it really is all about the money. But as a player, man, you just want to go out and perform, you want to win, and you want to be on a good team.
Exactly. I mean, we're competitors first, so that's the big thing. We just want to compete. We want to be in great situations where you can win, and obviously, go to the Super Bowl and win Super Bowl. So that's very important to us as players.
Any changes? You got Chris Richard now as your defensive coordinator. It looked the same for the most part, but is he doing anything with you? I noticed you and Bennett a lot on the same side in third down, but I remember that last year as well. But any changes to talk about?
No. I mean, if it's not broke, don't fix it.
Right.
There's definitely no change. It's just a different person, basically making the calls or whatnot. But there's really no change per se as far as for scheme or anything like that.
Sometimes you're too fast for your own good. You had a couple plays on Sunday in St. Louis where you came too fast and Full saw you coming and decided to dump it off.
Yeah, that sucks. I play the left side, so that's usually, the side they can see you coming. The right side obviously is the blind side, but they usually can see you coming. So most people think the right end is usually the better end, but me personally, I think the left end because they see you coming, so it's a little more difficult to bring them down.
The other thing is you spend the entire day working your tail off to get to the quarterback, and then it gets to be the fourth quarter, and they line up a cornerback, send him off the edge unblocked. Is there a little bit of at least let you recover the fumble to run it in?
At the time, hey, we'll take anything at the time. But as a defensive end, you always want to be the guy, getting all the sacks and the sack fumbles or whatnot. But hey, that was great timing for us.
See, you said that he's too fast for his own good. He could be my son. I had that same problem, Cliff. It was awful. Yeah, it was terrible.
Except you had the description. You were described as being very fast, and then there'd be a slight pause, and it'd be for a white guy.
You know what? That was accurate.
That is very accurate.
You know what? Early in my career, and then later, I was really slow for a white guy.
You know what? When people say, "Well, you're really smart, aren't you?" That's their word for you're
that's
slow.
Exactly what that means. Yeah. I want to ask you about your family, Cliff, because after I got married and had kids, it gave me a lot more perspective. Tell us a little bit about your family.
I'm married. I have a little boy. I got another little boy on the way. She's actually due October 7th. So.
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
That's awesome.
Thank you.
You have a girl coming?
No, another little boy.
Another boy.
Yes, so I'm trying to have a little basketball team here.
Oh, okay.
No, I don't think she'll like that. But no, I do it for them. I do it for my family. I play, the game that I love, but I also get to, provide for my family. So I'm very fortunate and very blessed.
How are you guys after this loss? That was a tough one. It was a game that you probably should have won. I always want to say you're Super Bowl champs. It feels like it. But how do you guys respond to that, emotionally?
I think the big thing for us is early in the season, make the corrections and not repeat, the same things that we were doing wrong. Is to continue to keep getting better, and that's our goal. Each and every day we go to practice, each and every day we get on the field, is to keep getting better. And I think if we do, and again, like I said, don't make the same mistakes, I think we'll be all right. You just got to bounce back from it.
It's Seahawks Weekly. We're here at Pearl Bar and Dining. They have fantastic Northwest seafood. Still have some king salmon that's caught off the Washington coast. Also want to thank a couple of our sponsors, specifically Legendary Donuts, who is here with us, as well as Sparkling Ice. And Cliff, I mentioned it. You're doing Dining to Make a Difference.
Yes.
And it's an event that's September 28th. Mm-hmm. It's a fantastic cause. It'll be there at the Columbia Winery, which is over in Woodinville. Mm-hmm. There's two ways you can get tickets. You can go to the website, Cliff Avril Family Foundation. Mm-hmm. You can also get it through Eventbrite, which is EVENTBRITE, and just type in the Cliff Avril event there. It's to make a difference with juvenile diabetes.
Yes.
What's motivating you to do that?
Well, both my mom, my grandmother passed from having diabetes. My mom has type 2 diabetes. Pretty much all my aunties and uncle, they all have diabetes. So it touches home for me. And then I took it a step further with juvenile diabetes. Since, I have a son and I have another one on the way. So it's just getting the word out there and bringing awareness to how you can combat from getting type 2 at least, from the way you eat and being very active.
The other thing is, Michael Bennett, who you came here the same year as, he's also very involved in that cause. He's got his own events going on. Have you guys ever talked about it, join forces together?
We actually are thinking about putting an event together later on this fall to join our two foundations together, because his is, I think, obesity, which is pretty much the same thing as what I'm doing as well. So we're definitely thinking about doing an event together.
Is Michael Bennett as funny in the locker room as he is outside of it?
All the time. I think the only time he can be funny, he has, 3 girls at home, he has his wife, so he can't wait to get to the locker room to let loose, I think, and he's a blast all the time.
He said today that his wife wouldn't let him hold out. That was why he ended up there.
I believe it. I believe his wife won't let him do a lot of stuff that he does in the locker room.
Microphone's not. Oh, there we go. Hey, so what about your relationship with Michael Bennett? Because he's a pretty funny dude. We had him on the show on the Huddle today, and when he starts to cut loose, I gotta believe between him and Marshawn, I feel like if I was in that locker room, I would be trying to sit and listen to as much as I could hear from those two guys.
Yeah, I mean, if you need a good laugh, those are definitely the guys to sit around and talk to. Me and Mike, You know, we're very close. Our wives hang out together. Speaking of Marshawn, is that him?
No, I think that's just Myron.
Oh, okay. I thought that was Marshawn. Everybody would have ran over there.
I would have come over there with a microphone,
Yeah,
and then he would have conked me on the head with it.
I really thought that was him. But no, me and Mike Bennett, we're very close. You know, our wives hang out together. You know, the kids play together all the time. We went to Hawaii. He lives in Hawaii. You know, we hang out all the time, man. You know, he's just a great dude. Him and Marshawn both are, you know, probably some of the best teammates you can have.
You know what, Cliff, you might want to get like some glasses or something. If you thought that was Marshawn Lynch.
It's a shadow. He has dreads. He has his hat on backwards.
I'm just glad that it was you that mistook a black man for Marshawn and
well,
not me.
I'm allowed to.
That could have been very awkward.
Well, you know what? There's racism that happens all the time when people mistake me for Paul Moyer. I'm like, oh, you think I look like every other white guy? Yeah, it really bothers me, Danny.
It hurts me. But you're getting better looking as you get older. Hey, now that you're a little bit older in the league,
do not laugh. That's
pretty good. Well, it's true. How's your body feeling? I mean, does it take a little longer? It's Thursday. You know, how you feeling today compared to maybe a year ago?
Well, I will say I feel great. I will say that's another reason why it was easy to sign back, because Coach Carroll and the training staff, they do a great job of getting guys to recover and taking it easy on some of the older guys as far as for during the work week, because it does take a little longer for you to bounce back. But, you know, I feel awesome, and I'm ready to go.
Have you ever wanted to do a little Bruce Irvin? You played linebacker in
No.
college a little. You don't want to play a little hybrid, drop every once in a while?
Drop every once in a while is too many drops.
That's one too many?
Too much, yeah, it's too much dropping. I'd rather be getting after the quarterback than trying to read passing concepts and route concepts and different things. No, I'll leave that for Bruce.
You played some linebacker in college, didn't you?
Yeah, that was like 12 years ago.
Yeah, you graduated beyond that.
Exactly.
You moved beyond that. Cliff Avril is with us here. You're wearing the throwback Seahawks hat.
Yes.
You guys also
It's a good
put on,
look, by the way.
It is. You guys also had on some of the neon green practice jerseys earlier this year.
Yeah, I hated those.
You didn't like the neon green.
No, it's too bright. It's too bright. And then, of course, they make the defense wear. So yeah, we hated it.
You guys didn't like him?
No, it's too bright. We like being, you know, blue or white, but the lime green actual jersey is too bright for us.
Now, at some point, they're going to have to do throwback uniforms here. Would you be okay with that with the silver helmets, or do you like your guys' new look?
No. Throwbacks is always good. You know, for one, it pays homage to all the guys that have done it before us, but it's always good to switch it up, and I'd definitely be down for that.
You know, I never wanted to be considered part of a throwback.
It's one of the things you got to
really,
into.
it's awesome. I should love Cliff for that, but now all of a sudden I'm like, man, I'm the throwback.
Hey, it comes for us all.
Yeah, that's right. Well, Cliff, you know, it's funny. We talked to Bruce Irvin about, and Paul was talking about playing linebacker a little bit, but doesn't an interception tempt you a little bit?
Nope.
That's how Bruce Irvin is.
I'd rather get a sack fumble. I'd rather get sack fumble recovery, and hopefully take it to the house. That's the best play in football, in my opinion. So I'd rather do that than catch an interception.
Well, and you're pretty good at that. I mean, you're a guy that gets a lot of those strip sacks. Talk about that. Do you have just an innate ability, or is that something that you work on quite a bit?
It's definitely something I've worked on through my career. I think, matter of fact, my coach just told me earlier this week that I think I have like 50 some odd sacks, and more than half of those have been sack fumbles or whatnot. So, you know, it's definitely something I work on. You know, sack is an awesome play, but to be able to get the ball out is even better. So, you know, you got to try to get that turnover as well.
Is there one thing more important than the other? And what I mean by that is, you know, some guys are just pure speed rush guys and straight up try to get on the edge. Other guys, they work the hands a ton. But what's for you? What do you think is more important, and is there one that you think you're better at?
Well, I'm definitely more of a speed guy. Trying to time the ball up and trying to get off as fast as possible. But at the same time, you know, I think you use your speed to counter and do, you know, your speed to bull rush, because you get the guys, you know, moving their feet a lot faster than they're used to. So that's definitely a big part of my game, is for sure, is getting off the ball and trying to beat them off the edge.
Cliff Avril is with us, and I don't know if I've ever traced your history, Cliff, because you grew up in Florida.
Yes,
and
sir.
your parents are Haitian, is that right?
Yes, both of my parents are Haitian descent. Yep.
And then you ended up in Purdue. How does that happen?
I knew I had a great chance of playing as a true freshman. I didn't want to be in school longer than 4 years. So that was definitely a big part of the reason I went to Purdue, because the year before they had like 9 guys get drafted. So I knew push come to shove, I'd be battling with a second string guy, and I'd get on the field, and I end up starting towards the end of my freshman year.
So you get up there. It had to be cold.
Culture shock. Everything, yes. No, it was freezing. First time I ever seen snow was that winter. That was fun for the first 10 minutes, and then like, oh, this thing it doesn't stop. So that was fun for the first 10 minutes, and then eventually getting used to actually how to dress in the snow in the winter was different for me. But you pick it all up once you've been out there for 4 years. Then I went to Detroit, same crap. So.
Yeah, you didn't get better weather when you went to Detroit.
Definitely didn't. But I guess it prepared me to get to Detroit, so that was good.
What other choices did you have besides Purdue?
It was out of Purdue or Maryland, but I had like all the Conference USA teams and all those different things. But again, at the time, Sean Merriman was there, and I remember going on a visit, and it was probably like his junior year or something like that, and he was ginormous. Oh. And I was like, I'm gonna have to wait 2 to 3 years to get that big. I probably don't want to do that if I'm trying to play right now.
Well, that's what's cool about the NFL. We were talking today to Fred Jackson, who went to Coe College, which is in Cedar Rapids, Iowa. And he played in some indoor league, and so it's cool. Like, when you were going to college, did you have any idea that you were going to maybe someday be in the? Were you even thinking about the NFL?
I never thought about the NFL, to be honest with you. It was just all about getting better for me. I wanted to be the best in the conference, in the Big Ten conference, and that's what motivated me. And then eventually I ended up getting to the league and whatnot. But I definitely never thought about it.
Now Fred told us today. So he graduates from Coe College, and he went and played indoor football, not even arena league, indoor football. He got paid $200 a game, and they got a $25 bonus if they won.
Hey, that's good for him.
Now, that's called betting on yourself. Like, if they want to call it, hold him together.
Danny pointed out, though, that is a 12.5%.
Yes, I was thinking that. I was trying to go, it's more than 10%. Let me see what else that is. Cliff, where's your wife from? How'd you meet her?
She's from Indianapolis, Indiana. So I met her in college. I met her at Purdue. She's way smarter than me. She has an industrial engineering degree. So I bet big on her, too.
Where do you, when you're done playing, where do you see making your home?
We live in Charlotte during the off season, so Charlotte's going to be where we make it happen.
How did you pick out Charlotte? It's a great city. I've loved going to Charlotte.
I love Charlotte. We were looking at different cities that we thought we could live in, and when we got out of college, she lived there for 2 years, and we just fell in love with the city.
You started your foundation, in the Cliff Avril Family Foundation. It's what the Dining to Make a Difference will help to benefit in fighting juvenile diabetes. How has the involvement in the community, and how has that kind of taken root for you here in Seattle?
Well, we have a huge fan base, and I do a lot of stuff with the juvenile JDR, juvenile diabetes. Their association out here. I do a lot with them. I did a walk this summer with them to help raise money and all kinds of different things. Again, it's all about getting awareness out there for me. And, also with my foundation, we do a lot of different things back at home and here. But, this summer we plan on hopefully raising enough money. I'm going to actually go to Haiti and do some stuff, do a football camp out there, take some of the teammates out there and do some different things like that. So that should be fun.
It's pretty cool with football, Cliff. I always apply, like my kids used to get tired of hearing all my football stories, like how it applies to life, but it really does. I mean, there's a lot of situations where if you go, do a camp or something like that, there's a lot about football, I think, more than any other sport, that's a lot like a microcosm of what life is about.
I agree. I mean, there's so much that goes into being on a football team with 53 other guys from everywhere throughout the country. It teaches you to how to deal and cope with different attitudes and different thought processes. And then also, just coming together for one common goal, and it teaches you a lot of different things, and I definitely appreciate the fact that I'm able to do it.
Other than working on a basketball team for your children, you're going on number 2, so that means you're going for 5?
It was a joke.
I know, I'm teasing.
You didn't consult your wife on that, did you?
I hope we're done.
I won't go there. What else do you like to do? What keeps you busy in the off season?
During the off season, I like to travel. The wife loves to travel, but no, I like to travel. Do different things with my son. Because during the season, you don't really get too much time to spend with the family. You're gone more than half the day, and then by the time you get home, it's time to put them to bed. So, you know, I'm trying to get them into sports and all those different things, and that's my time to do it, you know, during the off season.
It's Seahawks Weekly. It's brought to you by Michael's Toyota of Bellevue here, as well as Heritage Distilling's Batch Number 12 vodka. What were your thoughts when you came to play for Pete Carroll? Because you're a free agent. You come in here in 2013. It's a team that looks like it's turned the corner. Pete's a unique coach in the way he approaches a lot of things. Was there a part of you that was, I don't want to say skeptical because that's a negative thing, but you kind of wonder what he's going to be like?
Very skeptical. You know, you come on your visit, you know, and you're talking to Coach Carroll, and, you know, he's just has a lot of energy. You know, I'm like, yeah, it's that whole recruiting thing. You know, I've been through this before. You know, he's in love with you until you actually sign or something like that, you know. But 3 years straight, it's been the same guy. And you know, my first year and a half, I'm sitting there like, there's something's gonna change. There's no way he's happy and he has this much energy all the time to be such an older person. And you know, but he's been consistent, and it's fun playing for him. It definitely is.
He's the second oldest coach.
He's the second oldest coach?
Yeah.
He's probably got more energy than every one of those coaches.
Yeah, and you know, the first oldest coach is like the grumpiest dude ever. It's Tom Coughlin. Yeah, he's always got like a sour look, and that's kind of what you think like an older guy would be like, and that's what I'm like now. And I'm only like,
Dave, you've been like that since I've known you. It's not about now.
yeah, I was a grumpy young man too, but no, it is amazing what Pete Carroll it does. I mean, he never has a bad day, does he, Cliff?
I haven't seen it yet. I haven't. And maybe when he goes home, he's depressed or something. I don't know, but. But at work, he's always energetic. He always seems to be having fun. I mean, for a man to be so old, before practice, you see him throwing the ball 60, 70 yards. Like, I'm like, I don't know if I could do that. You know what I mean? So it's pretty cool. But, you know, I think he gets the concept that, you know, if the head man is in a great mood, it goes downhill, and everybody else will be, you know, energized and ready to go.
We should let Cliff go home, shouldn't we?
Well, I would like to, my last question will be, has Pete changed what you've thought of football coaches or what a football coach can be? Because I know for covering him, and it's not like I have some sort of wealth of experience, but it's been fundamentally different than anything I'd experienced before.
No question about it. I think when you think football and football coaches, you think, you know, it has to be kind of militant where, you know, he's always yelling at you, and, you know, most coaches are cussing you out. It's completely different. And he shows that works because he's been winning on every level. You know, college, obviously he's winning here with the Seahawks. So it definitely put a different perspective on how things can be ran and still get the job done.
He is Cliff Avril. I want everybody here to give him a huge hand. It's been really fun to get to know him. And also keep in mind that event, Dining to Make a Difference, September 28th. You can check out tickets to that at the Columbia Winery in Woodinville. It's on his website, cliffavrilfamilyfoundation.com. Cliff, thanks so much for joining us.
I appreciate y'all having me. It was fun.